Hundreds of people marched throughout downtown Bakersfield tonight in solidarity with a person who was killed in the Charlottesville protest. Eyewitness News reporter Jeff Platt joins us in studio. And Jeff, you were out there earlier today at the Liberty Bell. What can you tell us about it?
Well, Suzette, they actually first gathered at Mill Creek Park around 21st and R, which is about a mile away from the Liberty Bell, and they walked over there in droves, keeping everything orderly, obeying the street signs and everything. And once they got to the Liberty Bell, they kept chanting. They had many speakers. They did everything they could to really just honor a woman that they say they identify with all too well.
Love, not hate, makes America great.
They chanted,
Black Lives Matter.
They marched.
White supremacy's got to go.
They rallied. And they carried candles. About 300 people took to the streets of Bakersfield to mourn the death of Heather Heyer, the protester killed in an attack in Charlottesville, Virginia this weekend.
That could have been any of us out there in Virginia. And that is us. You know, we are Heather, Heather is us.
Heyer was killed during a counter-protest to those trying to keep a statue of Robert E. Lee standing in the small Virginia town. Her death striking a chord with those here in Bakersfield.
That girl could have been any of us.
Who now say their duty is to march, rally, and chant in Heather's memory.
So we need to speak for them. We are their voices.
While there were many chants, many causes, and many issues at the heart of this demonstration, there was only one goal: an end to violence. Now, there were no counter-protests or demonstrations attempting to combat this display for Heather tonight. There was, however, one person who drove by in their car shouting, quote, "White lives matter, Heather was white," to which many in attendance simply shrugged off and said, "That's why we're here." Reporting live in studio tonight, Jeff Platt, Eyewitness News.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for that update.
And while the country still grapples with what's happening in Charlottesville, locals gathered here in Bakersfield last night to stand in solidarity and offer support to the city.
Claudette Stefanian is live in studio with more on that rally. Claudette?
Aaron, emotions ran high last night as hundreds gathered to honor Heather Heyer. Now locals rallied down the streets of Bakersfield, hoping the other side of the country could hear their chants for change. Now Bakersfield residents held candles and signs in remembrance of Heather Heyer, who was struck and killed by a car during a counter-protest in Charlottesville. Heyer was among many who gathered in Virginia to protest a Unite the Right rally where far-right activists rallied together. Now chaos ensued, leading to the injuries of 19 people, as well as the death of Heather Heyer. Now, hundreds here in Bakersfield were distraught by the news, with many feeling locally tied to an event that happened on the other side of the country. A member of the Young Progressive Coalition had this to say. Take a listen.
That we're not going to give up, and that we're going to honor the people that have fallen for us, you know, fighting for our rights, you know, and I think that, you know, that's really why we're out here.
Aaron, while the country still mourns Heather's death, many have questioned Donald Trump on his word choice, asking if he took enough of an initiative to point out the groups involved in these attacks instead of using umbrella-like terms to define what had happened in Virginia. With that, back to you.
Hundreds of local residents came together for a unity rally in response to that white nationalist movement.
23 ABC's Faven Kay is live there with more. Faven, what's been happening?
Good morning, Jada and Mike. From Mayor Kern go to local activist Dolores Huerta, hundreds of Kern County residents gathered together and marched from right here at Mill Creek Park down to the Liberty Bell in downtown Bakersfield in solidarity. Now, the rally, dubbed a protest against white supremacy, brought out several speakers from local organizations, including the NAACP and the Democratic Women of Kern. Now, organizers tell 23 ABC that they received death threats prior to the rally, yet and still they marched on, mourning what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia, after one woman was killed during violent clashes between protesters and counter-protesters at the white nationalist rally in Charlottesville. On Saturday, 38-year-old Heather Heyer died after a car plowed into a crowd in Virginia. And for Bakersfield resident Jessica Nix, the news of Heyer's death was alarming. Jessica says it could have been her, and that's why she organized the solidarity rally here in Bakersfield last night.
Our community is diverse and it's strong, and we will protect each other. We don't have to be scared. You don't have to be scared. We are here for each other, and we're stronger than fear, and love is stronger than fear.
Now, a solidarity rally was also scheduled in Tehachapi, but that one was canceled due to threats. Now, that rally has been postponed until next week. We'll, of course, continue to bring you the latest on all the rallies and local reactions to that chaos in Charlottesville on our 23 ABC Facebook page, as well as our website, turn to23.com. For now, live in downtown Bakersfield, Fav and Kay, guys, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio.
A vigil and protest in downtown Bakersfield tonight was held in reaction to the violence in Virginia. Participants marched from Mill Creek Park to the Liberty Bell, holding signs and chanting. The Young Progressive Coalition organized the march aimed at solidarity. Organizers say they want to show support for Heather Heyer, who was killed during the protest.
When I saw Heather's story, and when we all saw it, we kind of saw that that could be one of us. You know, as far as activists go, we're people out here that are in the streets, that are fighting for immigrant rights, that are fighting for worker rights, that we all believe that Black Lives Matter, you know what I mean? So we felt like she was one of us.
The suspect in the attack in Virginia is being held without bail. He will be arraigned tomorrow on charges including second-degree murder.
And a local group responded to the violence in Charlottesville with a call to action over the weekend. 17's Trinity Joseph is joining us in the control center this morning with more on that. Trinity?
Maddie, after a day of bloodshed and hatred in Virginia, people right here at home protested white supremacy, spreading the message of unity. In downtown Bakersfield, people gathered in solidarity with counter-protesters in Virginia. Last night, they marched from Mill Creek Park to the Liberty Bell. It was an emotional night as people walked with their candles lit and signs held high, offering prayer for the woman who was killed when a white supremacist ran her over with his car, and preaching for more change.
Those people out there are just like us, and we're here to just show solidarity, remember her, and kind of send a message that no matter what white supremacists are going to do or anything like that, we are going to stay strong as a community, as activists, and we're going to keep fighting to make sure that we can reach equality.
The main message from the group: racism is not accepted. The group held signs that read, "Diversity yes, hate no. Equal rights and love trumps hate." The people who attended the vigil are hoping that the love that they showed there will be carried out throughout the rest of the world, and encourage people to stand up for what they believe is right.
All right, Trinity Joseph in our control room this morning. Thank you.